I'm back to my Azure portal and we are going to click on create resource, in which we are going to click on databases. As we discussed already, we have lots of flavors available, starting with the SQL Server, Cosmos DB, PostgreSQL or MariaDB. You can choose whichever you want. I am going to choose SQL database. It's asking me which resource group I want to choose. I can choose any one, so I'm choosing one of them. Which database name I want to keep, I'm specifying Maruti SQL Server 123, or it's a database name, so let's do Maruti SQL DB123. So this is my database actually, so I'm adding a word DB with that. It's asking me which servers I want to choose. Now I have one existing server already in my account, so I can choose that one, but let's create a new one right now. It's asking me which would be the server name, so I am saving Maruti SQL Server 123. That's the name of my server, and I need to provide the admin credentials, in which we are providing username and password, which should follow certain rules, so we are following that. Which location I have to choose for this? Let's say I am choosing East US only, and I'm going to click on OK. It's going to show me that I am creating one new database and a SQL server in this. Do I need an elastic pool right now? No, I do not want that. And I also want to change the size of my database to something smaller one. So I'll click on basic, and then I'll create a 2 GB database, which is available here with 5 DTU. DTU stands for data transaction, which is allowing me to control the number of queries executed in this. I'm moving forward and clicking on next. Do I need to access this SQL database somewhere from the public endpoints? Yes, of course I want to do that thing in the public endpoint. So I am specifying public endpoint, and I am going to allow my Azure services to access the server, as well as if I want to connect this database through my computer, then I can connect through the client IP address also. So that's why I am specifying allow client IP also with that. We'll move forward and we'll click on next, which is additional settings. It's asking me, do I need any existing database backup from somewhere? And if I want to get any database, I can do that. I am choosing sample right now, and in that by default they are giving me AdventureWorks LT, which is a sample database given by Microsoft, and it's going to have number of tables inside that with thousands of records. So I can really get use of that through multiple query generation and all. Let's move forward to next, which is review and create, and it's showing me that okay, the estimated cost for me right now in this database is going to be 330 rupees per month, and that is also something which is estimated cost. So that's something which is a maximum Microsoft is going to charge me for this if I run this database 24/7 for 1 month. I'm going to click on create, and that will take some time to create the SQL server and database with a sample database, which is AdventureWorks in that. So let's wait for that. Okay, deployment of our SQL server is done. Let's click on go to resource. In the overview tab, all the details that we have discussed is there. We have a pre-configured firewall which is associated with the SQL server. So if I click on set server firewall, the first thing which I want you to notice is we have one particular public IP address added into this firewall setting. And this is because we have allowed the client IP address while creating SQL server with that. You can see the allow Azure services resources. That's also true in this because we set this condition while creating this. If you want to add series of IP addresses into this, or if you want to work on your office network and you want to allow that particular network, you can give the starting and ending IP range in this, and then you can save it. And then this firewall of SQL server will allow you to connect to this database. Left side, we have two important sections which I want you to focus. There is a section called Query Editor, which allows you to connect to this as something like SQL Server Management Studio, but this is within this browser, so it's not that much capable, but it's still a good one. Let me log into this one with my credential, and if I do that thing, it is going to allow me to see all the table structures and store procedures provided in this particular database. So you can see, because we have AdventureWorks associated with this, we have couple of tables in this, and then if I expand store procedures, I have that too. I can click on new query, I can put some queries here, and the moment I execute that thing, it's going to create alter table and it can deal with different operations associated with this. Second thing is, left side we have a section called geo replication. This is one of the important feature of SQL Server associated with Azure. As we know that Azure is having global geographical presentation available everywhere, we have different data centers available in this particular world map. Depends upon your subscription, you will have different options available for replication. Now it's showing me that my primary server is on East US region right now, and if I want to configure in secondary server on any of these available regions, I can do that thing. I can click on one of the region and then it is going to show me a secondary region, but there is a catch in this. Let's say I want to connect the secondary region, which will be South India. The moment I click on this, you can see that it's showing me a page where I can choose a secondary region, but within few seconds it is just removing that thing, and it's showing me this icon in which a cloud is actually crying, and it's crying because we are not able to connect to this region because it's not maybe properly paired with that. Now let's say if I choose something which is Canada Central. Again, if I wait for a few seconds, if it is not pairable with this, it's going to show me that same logo. Otherwise, if it is there, you can notice that the secondary region is allowed, which is Canada Central now. The secondary type will be readable because this copy you can use only to read data, just to remove the concurrency issues. I can configure an additional server, or if I already have a server on that region, I can select that also. I am providing another server which is MariaDB server 456. That was 123, this is 456, and then I'm providing a new credentials to this. Once I do this, I am going to click on select. It's creating a new server for me. Automatically the pricing tier for this is going to be same, because it's going to be load balance between these two different servers, because this is a secondary server connected with the primary one. The moment this is showing me initialized deployment, you can see that it is actually trying to connect with the secondary server. So it's not only creating a secondary server, it's also connecting with that. And if I wait for some moment, after some time, both of these regions are going to get connected with the solid line. So instead of this dotted lines, I will get a solid line. And that simply means that both the servers are ready and working in a sync mode. That is something which is the advantage of geo replication available on SQL Server. I hope you understood this, and you will wait for some time when you're doing this thing and you'll get a solid line in this.